After 60 years of fish keeping, I have reinvented my approach. This is John DeBocas, aka Half Man, Half Cichlid. Welcome to my channel. When I say I've reinvented my approach, I, like many folks, have fed pellets and sticks, flakes to their fish primarily in the past. Now, over the last few years, when I say I've reinvented my approach, I've shifted a significant amount of my feedings to freeze-dried, trying freeze-dried and frozen foods. And I'll talk about the advantages of freeze-dried over the course of this video. In the past, I've done videos on comparing the cost per gram of protein, and there's a lot more too I've discovered in selecting a food than just the cost per gram of protein, the source of the protein, and also the processing. When I say processing, your sticks and your pellets typically go through grinding and heating and pounding. I watched a video on the steps, and it really tears up the natural ingredients that go into pellets and sticks. And in the end, a lot of the foods will only be eaten, the pellet and stick foods will only be eaten by our fish because the manufacturers add garlic to them. So, mainstays for me are now becoming freeze-dried krill, natural foods like freeze-dried krill, brine shrimp, and ocean plankton. You know, again, these are natural foods. They are rich in natural ingredients. They're not processed in a way that destroys the key ingredients, and there's no garlic necessary. And what I've really noticed with my fish is they're healthier, their colors are much more vibrant. I've tried other ways to bring out the reds in my fish, but nothing brings out the reds like freeze-dried krill, for example. I'm experiencing faster growth, and just have been extremely happy in this transition away from pellets and sticks, which I still use some of under certain circumstances. So we'll talk more about fish nutrition in other videos, but today I'm going to focus on krill, the cost of frozen versus freeze-dried krill. And I think the conclusions that you'll see here pretty much apply to all natural foods, where you have the option of both a freeze-dried and a frozen format to feed your fish. So enjoy. Hope you learn a lot. This is another one of those areas that is, I feel, transforming my hobby and the health of my fish. Thank you. Today, just to keep us focused, we're going to focus on one of the what I consider to be miracle natural foods, and that is krill. And we'll show some feedings. We'll also particularly focus on how you can much more inexpensively and efficiently feed your fish krill by using freeze-dried as opposed to frozen. We're going to focus on freeze-dried krill, which I buy on Amazon. You can buy it in even larger quantities. And I'm going to demo feeding that krill to my 500-gallon aquarium, large cichlids, and gouramis. The first thing you'll notice is the fish practically violently attack this krill. Now, the reason I use a DIY floating feeder. I've got skimmers, surface skimmers, in all my large tanks, and the feeding rings contain the floating krill till the fish eat it. So they love it. The colors are a lot more vibrant. They've grown like crazy. I just can't speak enough to how I love feeding this. Here's the package that I bought on. I bought this on Amazon, and I highly recommend it. High quality, not a lot of scaling and broken down pieces, but pretty much all whole. A quick shot of the label of the freeze-dried krill from Amazon, and in particular we're going to talk about protein and moisture content. Krill. Here's frozen krill, and I'm referencing a link to where it's sold on Live Aquaria. This is a 1 pound package, and by the way, look at this price, $14.99. I believe it's an additional $29.99 if you want it shipped to you. Food. Likewise, we're going to examine the protein and moisture content of the frozen krill, and we'll be comparing it again to the freeze-dried. Well, in the comparison, here's where the rubber meets the road. You can see that the frozen krill is 92% water, whereas freeze-dried krill is a maximum of 6%. And likewise, you can see in terms of protein percentage, you've got 52% by weight of protein in the freeze-dried krill, and less than 5% for frozen krill. Now here's the most important slide in the analysis, where I'm comparing the cost of frozen krill and freeze-dried krill, two packages that are similar from a cost standpoint. Again, one from Amazon and one from Live Aquaria. And you can see the pack size and how many grams that is, and then based on the percentage of protein in each of the pack approaches, freeze-dried and frozen, we've calculated the number of grams of protein. And you can see, although the freeze-dried krill is a lot less by weight, 5 ounces, it has far more protein than the frozen krill for the comparison of these two pack sizes. So the important part here is looking now at the last column, and that's what you and I would be paying per gram of protein between these two different formats of krill. Frozen, which is 70 cents a gram protein, and freeze-dried krill, which is only 23 cents. So it's a factor of 3 more expensive to buy frozen krill than freeze-dried krill for what really matters, and that is the protein content that we're giving to our fish to grow and color up and everything else that such food, great food, offers our aquarium specimens. Another thing I really don't like about frozen foods is you have to thaw them out, and I would encourage you to, when you thaw it out, pour off some of the juice, I call it juice, that is part of the thawing process. And this juice gets dumped into your aquarium when you pour this out and feed your fish. And of course, your filtration, your beneficial bacteria have to suck up this protein juice, process it, and what does it do with it? It turns it into nitrates, which we're all trying to control in our aquariums. Here's a quick shot of the frozen krill that's been thawed with water being poured into the aquarium. Now keep in mind, 95% of what you're pouring in is water, and that water again is laden with proteins that have to be cleaned up by your aquarium filtration system. In addition to, this will cloud the water if you're not careful. So in summary, why is frozen krill a rip-off when you compare it to freeze-dried krill? Frozen krill is 3 times more expensive for the protein that you're feeding your fish. You need to freeze it. You need to have a freezer to store it. Quite often that results in freezer burn if we use it over time. And the need to freeze, too, results in extra shipping charges or a trip to Petco or PetSmart to pick it up. There's the need to thaw it out, the frozen krill, which takes time, a container, and of course produces this protein juice, which we should try to keep out of our aquariums because, again, it results in extra load on our filtration system and production of nitrates. You can do the same analysis for freeze-dried plankton, for freeze-dried brine shrimp, and they're easier to feed, and again, about 1/3 the cost of frozen foods. I hope this information helps you make an informed choice when looking at whether to buy frozen or freeze-dried krill. Again, krill is a great and wonderful food, as I'm finding is also the case with the other freeze-dried foods, but with the added convenience and lower cost of freeze-dried, I hope you'll be able to feed this wonderful food to your fish more frequently, and again at a much lower cost and with a lot less hassle. Thank you. Look forward to your comments.